Spending a lot of time at hockey games this year, now that hockey is back. Even saw a game in Dallas, and at just about every game here in L.A. Now, you may not care about hockey, and that's irrelevant, okay? These arenas nowadays have amazing facilities for boozing, night clubbing. I mean, you're at a sporting event, and in the background, I know Staples Center has, off the top of my head, I can think of 5 bars. Actually, there's more than that, but there's 5 where people like congregate and socialize. And, 40% of the people who go to Los Angeles Kings hockey games are chicks. So there's actually a social scene going on there. It's pretty amazing. And one of the things I enjoy doing is hanging out at the clubs and watching, like Dean and I were just doing this, watching guys try to put the make on chicks. We saw one guy come up to these 2 Canadian chicks and start trying to pick up on them by saying how much he knew about hockey. This guy was a complete geek. I mean, just because they're from Canada and they're at a hockey game doesn't mean they like hockey, okay? It may mean they like meeting guys who like hockey, or they may mean they like drinking, or it may mean some guy brought them to the game and they peeled off. I mean, you don't know what it is. I love watching these clunky attempts to pick up chicks. Because I tell you, boys, do not use pickup lines. Do not. They've heard them all before, and you just look stupid. Now, there are places where you expect people to use pickup lines, Dance clubs, bars, especially the meat market type bars. Right? You might even say museums. Museums are pickup joints. No doubt about it. Weddings. Plenty of picking up going on there. I was just at a wedding. A lot of that going on. Yeah, I was at a wedding. Yes, I was. I wouldn't recommend that people get married, but that doesn't mean if a friend gets married, I wouldn't go. I did. I went to a wedding. Yes, I did. But then there are places that are totally inappropriate. Places, and this is especially true for women being picked up. Places where you go and you look unkempt. You're in sweatpants or those god-awful floral print, those like capri pants or whatever that look horrible. And you're just trying to, pick up some produce to bring home. How about you're at the mall shopping? How many girls have been hit on at Victoria's Secret, for example, when they're looking around? How many times, girls, have you been at, I don't know, name the store, The Limited or Old Navy, and some guy says, "Don't I know you?" That's not a time you're looking to get picked up, even if you like being picked up from time to time. That's not where you want it to happen. And then some places are completely, totally, unbelievably inappropriate. For example, funerals and wakes. I mean, there are guys who have the balls to actually lay down some game right there at a funeral. What are you doing after this? Where are you going after this? What are you doing later? Now, guys are always calling in and asking me for good pickup lines. I don't believe in pickup lines. I don't even believe in picking up women. But I'm no fool. I know that despite what I say on the air, no matter what I recommend, that guys are going to do what guys are going to do. No doubt about it. Guys, if they want to pick up chicks, they're going to pick up chicks no matter what I say, or at least they're going to try and then look stupid. And they'll figure that out on their own later. But I thought maybe, especially since guys do most of the picking up and girls do most of the getting picked up, I thought, girls, you could give us some ideas of some of the most inappropriate ways and places guys have ever tried to pick you up. I'm not a chick, so I really don't even know what those places would be, and I don't believe in picking up chicks. I don't believe in approaching chicks and coming on to them. because I just think you are giving up all your power by pursuing women. You want to put yourself into positions where they start asking you questions. They are trying to figure out pickup lines because you're ignoring them. It's very effective. But since most of our boys out there ignore my advice and try to pick up chicks anyway, I figured we could find out just where you should never pick up a chick. Like places you've been where guys tried to hit on you, where it was just so wrong, so inappropriate, so ineffective that you just would not recommend it to others. Where are the places that people shouldn't try to pick up other people?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
You know the definitions of the word slut and the word bitch, right?
No.
A slut is anyone who's had more sex than I've had. You know what a bitch is?
What's that?
A bitch is a slut who'll sleep with everybody but me.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. All right, the worst places for guys to try picking up chicks. Jacqueline on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Jacqueline.
I can't believe I got through to you.
Me neither.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
I've got the worst possible place a guy could pick up on a girl.
Where would that be?
Every time I'm at a club, there's always skanky, short, ugly, loser guys that hang outside the bathroom just waiting for girls to come out.
Really?
So, you know, you go in, you're hurling your guts out, you're fixing your makeup, and you come out, and the guy comes up to you, hey, baby, what's up? I won't believe how many times I come out, and he's come right up to you, just stand right there and peeking through the door.
Yeah, there are guys who work the ladies' room, and there are guys who also stand back by where the telephones are. They stand. What do they
think? What do they think I'm going to do? I'm going there to put on my makeup or hurl my guts. I don't want to get your number, you short, ugly pervert.
Well, you understand. Now, I don't know about you, Jacqueline. I've talked to guys who do this, and I'm not necessarily saying I agree with it, okay? But let me tell you what their explanation is. There are many women who are out on a date, and the guy is a geek. The guy is a jerk, or they've had a fight. Many times when women go to the ladies' room, it's to collect themselves or to make a phone call and hook up with somebody else later or whatever. So these guys are waiting to apprehend these chicks who are essentially trying to escape their dates.
That's true, but what could be so sexy about picking up a woman in a club bathroom?
Well, I don't know if it's sexy, but, like, there are women, and again, I'm not defending it. I'm telling you what their explanation is. There are women who are particularly vulnerable when they're heading to the bathroom. Some of them are just vulnerable to urination, okay? They drank too many light beers. And some of them actually are like, they want to go in and call their best friend and say, this guy is a jerk. I can't believe I went out with him. What do I do now? Could you call me? Just ring my phone in 10 minutes and get me out of here. Or they're going in there to chat with one of their other friends in there. Or they're going in there just to collect themselves or catch their breath or whatever.
That's true. I'll have to admit to that.
So women are frequently at a vulnerable point when they are heading into or out of the ladies' room.
That's true. But, guys, if you're going to pick us up by the restroom, please at least have something better than saying, hey, baby, are you waiting for me? Are you looking for someone? That's never going to work.
This is what I tell guys. Stop with the opening lines. Stop. You've heard them all.
Well, thank you, Tom. This is the best day. I've been a long-time listener. I love you. I think women out there, if you're listening, if you ever want to keep a man, you let your man listen to Tom Leykis, you follow his rules, and you'll have a good time.
Absolutely, Jacqueline. Thank you. Tatiana, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 Hi.
Hi.
The worst place I've ever been picked up on was I was at a free clinic to get an SPD check. It was my yearly checkup, and this guy was sitting next to me, and there was a guy in the middle. He was talking across, telling everyone that his girlfriend had given him something. And
So you knew what he was there for. Of course, we know what you were there for, too.
Yeah. So he goes and, well, I didn't have anything. I just went for my checkup. But
Yeah, but you were being checked for that, right?
well, yeah, my yearly checkup. I'm having sex, right?
Right.
Gotta check myself, make sure I'm not.
But he was announcing to the room what he was going in for?
Yeah, he was saying how his girlfriend cheated on him, and he's so upset, and now he has an STD. He's itchy down there. Well, turns out he goes into the doctor's office. He comes out. I'm still in the waiting room. He comes up to me and he whispers to me. He's like, "Oh, you're so pretty. I was wondering if maybe we can go out for some coffee sometime."
Some coffee and some penicillin.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're going to be getting an STD check, at least pretend you don't have STDs. Because if you're announcing it, why the hell would you pick up on a chick? Like,
Yeah, you should be making other announcements like, I'm just here for my annual checkup. Nothing's wrong. I'm just here, just getting a little tune-up here. No big deal.
So I don't even know how a guy can have balls to ask a girl out like that.
I think you make a very good point. Carla on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Yes, Tom. I'm such a fan that I'm shaking to talk to you.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Worst place that I've been trying to, they tried to pick me up was at my dad's funeral.
Your dad's funeral?
Yes.
Oh.
And the guy is like 30 years older than me, and he was like somewhat related,
Somewhat related?
Yeah.
So what kind of pickup line did he use at your dad's funeral?
Well, afterwards we were going to go, we were having refreshments or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he said he couldn't make it to the refreshments, but he would love to take me out for like coffee afterwards or something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, no.
At your dad's funeral. Hey, what are you doing after this?
Yeah.
Why do you say we make ourselves scarce?
Yeah, I'd probably be crying, I said. And so then he just, realized that he probably made a huge mistake.
Yeah. Well, then you pretty much have to press ahead. Well, I'll make you cry. Tell you what. Oh, my
Thank you
God.
so much for taking my phone call, and I'm really a big fan.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Sophie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay.
The worst place is at a lesbian bar.
Are guys doing that?
Yes.
I wouldn't know. I don't go to lesbian bars. How does this work? Tell me what they do.
Oh, they come up to me a few times. The worst thing is I'm with my boyfriend when I'm there, and then they come up and say, oh, you could help me out. We could go have some fun with some of these women. You can help me get them. That's really bad.
And you're already helping your man get some of these chicks.
Exactly. That's bad. They can't even get in without going with a woman, so they should be using that one to get them.
Man, oh, man. Well, Sophie, thank you for that. Appreciate the call. Tracy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
First off, just before I tell you where the worst place to get picked up on is, a little FYI, don't call the radio station and say that you go to the free clinic. Get some insurance. But anyways,
how about you hire an MD, huh?
Worst place to get picked up on is when you are stuck in traffic, get off the freeway, you're stopped at a red light, and they're trying to pick up on you on the street.
No. Do they put down the Windex bottle at least?
No, all the time. Rolling down the window, hey, baby, what's your name? I wish I had tinted windows, because all you got to do is roll it up. That's all you can do.
Wow.
But that's what I called for, so thanks, Tom.
Thank you, Tracy. This is amazing, some of these calls. 1-800-5800-TOM. Where are the worst places for a guy to try to pick up a chick? The worst. Leslie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
I'm so excited. Worst place doesn't fail every time I fly. I always get picked up. And it is so damn annoying. I haven't
on the plane?
Yes. And it's a layover, and I haven't slept, and I'm all cramped up, and I have drool all over my face.
And you're stuck sitting next to this guy for 3, 4, 5 hours.
Yes. And it doesn't fail every single time I fly. I always get picked up. Something must be really...
Now, do these guys have opening lines? What kind of pickup line would you use on like a red-eye flight?
Well, they just start talking to you, and you can't go anywhere. You're stuck. and you're trying to get some sleep, and they keep on talking and talking. They offer if you want to listen to the Walkman, whatnot. And you're sweaty, you're stinking, you've been flying across the country, so you've had a layover, you're exhausted.
By the way, I hate talking to anybody on planes, including the flight attendants. I just hate talking.
Wow.
And I will do anything. I will pretend to be asleep. I will put headphones on with no music in them. Anything to discourage people from starting up meaningless, trivial conversations about nothing.
Well, and then as you get off and they offer you, if you have a ride, if you have somebody to pick you up, and I say yes, and they're like, well, I can give you a ride home. And that's just the worst. The last thing I want is someone taking me home who I met on a plane. It's just plain annoying. Don't do it, guys.
All right, Leslie, thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. We're talking about the worst places to try to pick somebody up. Allie on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Allie.
Hey, first time, long time, and that I love you. You make me laugh on a daily basis.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, the worst place has to be the freeway. For some reason, truck drivers just love me.
How do you pick somebody up on the freeway? And it's kind of unwieldy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. I mean, just last week, I was followed by a guy in a Mustang, which I think are, like bitch cars anyways. And, I mean, they just honk and they try to pull me over, and they give me that thumb and the, pinky sign, like, call me. I just don't get it.
Oh, like that? It looks like a little telephone receiver?
Exactly.
What do they do, mouth their cell phone number to you? I mean, how do they do this?
They've tried. One tried to mouth it. The other one tried to, write and drive at the same time.
Aren't you glad that our license plate number is not our cell phone number?
And, I was pretty...
I hope nobody ever suggests that.
But, I mean, if you're going to try to pick me up on the freeway, I mean, I'm exhausted. I'm a writer. I'm, interviewing people all day. I just want to go home and relax, have a glass of wine. And, these guys just don't get it. And that's all I got to say. Guys, don't be losers. If you're going to try to pick them up, at least, do it when you're not on the road.
All right, Allie. Thank you for that. Vanessa on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, I was also calling about the freeway. This is so weird. Like, driving 80 miles per hour, swear to God, driving 80 miles per hour down the freeway, like, people trying to, like, stay the same speed as me, and, like, looking over and waving, like, I think I know them, so I look over, and it's a guy trying to pick up. Like, I'm going to pull over, and I don't know what they expect, It's retarded.
Now, what is the technique they use?
Sorry, what?
What is the technique these guys use to pick you up?
Oh, they try to drive the same speed as me, so that, like,
I mean, do you have your car windows open when you're on the freeway?
Oh, no, like, my car windows are absolutely closed.
So what do?
They make sure they're driving the same speed as me, and then so that I notice them, like they're trying to race me or something, and then I look over, and then they wave at me, and then I try to figure out if I know who it is, because sometimes, you'll run into somebody, and but no, it's like total stranger, and they'll smile and they'll wave, and I'm like driving down the freeway, like fast, and I don't know if they expect me to like pull over or, and it becomes a thing where I feel like I'm going to start getting followed. It's ridiculous. It's amazing how many of these freeway things happen. This doesn't just happen once. I don't know why they think it's worked, or what scares me is, has it worked for them,
No.
I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, you wonder who you pick up when you pick them up that way. I'll tell you what.
Yes, hello?
Renee, hi.
Hi. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Hi. The weirdest place, I was just hanging out at the Beverly Hills spot. I hang out every now and then. The bartender asks me for my phone number, and I go, don't he see me mingling with other people? And, of course, there were other guys I was mingling with. And prior to me closing my tab out, he goes, well, I would like your phone number, or I would like to talk to you. I said, well, you'll see me maybe again, because I go there. It's like a restaurant/bar. And I'm thinking, what is it with the bartender asking me for my phone number? That was hilarious. So I just thought that was the weirdest thing, because I'm thinking, what are you going to do the next time you see me and I don't call? So you're going to be wondering why it was just pretty odd.
Oh, my God.
The bartender, and so, it was like, wow, okay. And he clearly saw other guys handing me their business cards or whatever. We were just talking and having a good time, and he just closes out my tab and asks for my phone number. And I'm going, okay, that's the first one. And I've seen him, you know, I've visited the place at least 4 times, and he's never let on. And then this time I guess he's thinking, oh, you know, well, yeah, let me ask her for a phone number. So I just thought that was pretty hilarious. But
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. But anyway, I really love your show, and I listen to it. I've been listening to your show for about 6 months, and I have to agree that, I mean, I would say 99% of the things that you say I totally agree with. And women, if they would just listen, they wouldn't make such a fool out of themselves a lot of times, because a lot of things you say are, like, right on.
Well, thank you for that, Renee. I appreciate that very much. It's Sydney on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 Well, I have a little more to your freeway edition. I get the freeway, the same speed, the honking and all that, which is absolutely just a joke. I mean, what am I going to do, pull up the freeway? Absolutely not. And I just roll the windows up and pretend I'm on my cell phone. But I have a personalized plate that talks about, I work in a hospital, and it describes what unit I work in. And I incessantly I have girlfriends that work at several of the hospitals in the same unit. These guys will call around to the local hospitals and try and describe my car and figure out who I am. Every once in a while, I'll get one on the phone that the secretary will put through or something, and they'll be like, oh, I was the guy in such and such a car and was there last week. Do you remember me? And I'm like, no, I don't. Bye-bye. It's just amazing. People are just clueless when it comes to the freeway.
Man, oh, man, that's unbelievable. That's amazing stuff. Donna on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. Long time, first time.
Hi, Donna.
Another addition to the tollway stories. At the toll booth, I have had people leave phone numbers to the attendant to give to me to call them.
Toll booths, by the way, no offense, folks, but that has got to be, men and women both, the ugliest group of human beings I've ever seen.
You can say that
If you were real attractive, you would not be collecting coins from strangers all day long. We used to call that panhandling.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
I mean, it's amazing. How many desirable people have you ever seen? Have you ever looked inside a toll booth and said, God, that guy's hot?
No, I try to avoid looking in the toll booth.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking back. I'm thinking about men and women. Women, it's the fattest chicks on earth who work in toll booths. And men are just the homeliest bunch of, I don't know how to describe, just homely individuals. I have never seen a Chippendale or a Playboy centerfold working at a toll booth, ever.
No, I don't think they would. And if you take, if you absolutely have to, and you take a good look at the guy sitting in there, yeah, your appetite's going to go. That's just it.
So what do the toll takers say to you?
Generally, it's usually the car in front of me. They leave a phone number with a message.
To the guy in front of you?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, so the guy in front of you does what? He tries to get you to pull over?
No, pays my toll and leaves his phone number on a piece of paper.
Oh, so in other words, he leaves... Oh, the guy in front of you is trying to pick you up.
Yes.
All right, so the guy in front of you writes his phone number and pays your toll, and so the toll taker says, it's on this guy, and here's the slip of paper with his phone number.
Yeah, and trust me, you don't want to take that slip of paper out of their hand.
Oh, my. Have you ever called one of these people?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were talking about the toll taker himself trying to pick you up. It's the guy in front of you.
It's the guy in a car in front.
How can he even see what you look like to want to pay your toll and get you to call him? I mean...
The only thing I can think of is you sit in traffic long enough, unfortunately, people can get a good look when they've got nothing better to do.
Unbelievable.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
That bitch didn't win Miss USA. She should be slapped in the face.
All right, that's enough. Boys, you can't say the F word on the radio. It's not my rule. I use the F word every hour of every day, except the hours I'm on the radio. Then I only use it during commercial breaks.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles. It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. What are the worst places to try to pick someone up? The worst. Lucy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm okay, Lucy.
You know, it's funny this incident came up just 3 nights ago, so it's funny that you're talking about the subject. I was at a Rite Aid down in Long Beach about 10 o'clock at night.
By the way, people who don't have Rite Aid where they live, that's a pharmacy chain.
Anyway, I was I was in the tampon aisle.
You were the tampon aisle at Rite Aid.
At Rite Aid, and a guy came up to me and tried to pick up on me.
Now, what is the pickup line for the tampon aisle? I'm curious.
Well, the guy came up to me. He used the stupidest excuse. He said he had a female friend in his car who had really bad cramps, and he wanted me to help him figure out what to get her to help her cramps.
I see. And then where did he take it from there?
Well, I suggested Pamprin because it was right in front of me, and he started talking to me. He said, well, she also has headaches, and she's being real crabby. I said, maybe I ought to just get her something to put her to sleep. And he started laughing, and he asked me what my name was and how old I was. He was at least 20 years younger than me. And it was a compliment. I just, I noticed he didn't take the Pamprin, though. I turned him down, and he ended up just leaving. He didn't even grab the Pamprin. Anyway, I want to tell you, you've got the greatest show. I mean, I know I'm way past your age of women that you're interested in, but I think that you've got a great show, Tom.
Thank you, Lucy.
Have a great evening.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Bad places to pick up chicks. This is Alina calling from Portland, Oregon on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Hey, first-time caller. I'm from Brazil. Just recently started listening to your show. I love it, and my boyfriend is a huge fan of yours.
Cool.
The worst that has ever happened to me, I was in a bathroom line in a club. Bathroom lines usually have a tendency to go outside the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
So I was just waiting there, and the guy comes up to me like, hey, what are you doing? Can't you see what I'm doing? I'm just waiting to pee. I'm desperate to go in. Are you just going to stand there and talk to me? I think that's the worst that's ever happened to me.
Wow.
Guys just don't have a clue that you're in the bathroom line because you got to go fast. And they keep holding you back. It's really terrible, really annoying.
Oh, man. We got another report of that earlier, so apparently it's an epidemic.
Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Hey, can you take me out that African tribe style?
Of course. Shabina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right. My dad works for the UN, right? So we're in a third world country, and it's like a diplomatic area, and girls can't go out or hang out outside over there, so all the girls would get together and hang out on the rooftop. One day, right, this guy is on the rooftop, and he starts signaling us, trying to get our attention, and we totally ignore him. 2 minutes later, he disappears and ends up on my roof.
On the roof of your office building?
On the roof of our house, on the roof of my dad's diplomatic house.
Oh, my God.
And then, after 10 minutes, there are, a whole bunch of guys up there on the roof with us, and it was just crazy. Finally, the bodyguards found out, and they started coming up, and that's when the guys started jumping back out.
Oh, wow.
That is, the worst place. How could you even take a risk like that?
I don't know. Well, I guess they didn't think they were taking a risk.
I think it was. Come on, they could have gotten prison. They could have gotten put. Anything could have happened to them.
Well, if they see chicks, that's it.
That's it.
All right.
Check in mind. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. Taryn on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, what's up?
Not much, Taryn.
I got to say, the worst place oh, my gosh, it has to be my job. I work at an insurance company, and I sell insurance over the telephone.
Right.
And the guys, they try to hook up with you over the telephone. They don't even know what you look like. They're like, okay, so I'm asking them for their numbers, and they're like, okay, well, what number do you want? I'm a number that I can get a hold of you at. Okay, well, you could use it. You don't have to use it for insurance purposes only.
Oh, boy.
Yes. They don't even know what I look like.
Now, have you ever taken a guy up on this?
No, never.
Never.
Never, ever, ever. Sometimes they sound okay, but no way.
You know the other one that always amazes me? Guys who, dial a wrong number, or at least they say they dialed the wrong number, right?
Of course, if they call your house, oh, well, who's this? I've had that before.
What's your name?
Yeah, it's well, what's your name? Who are you calling for? Yes, so that has to be the worst. If they don't know what a girl looks like and they're willing to hook up with them, they have to be desperate.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Thank you, Taryn. Appreciate the call. Erica on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Is that a question or a statement?
It's a statement. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Erica.
I think the worst pickup I ever had was I was in the military and my pay had gotten cut off for some reason. So I go to the pay sergeant and he tells me, well, since you're hungry, how about I take you to dinner?
Really?
I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I had about 2 cents in my pocket.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. That is hardcore, Erica.
Yeah, I thought, I said, why don't you just worry about getting my check started? I'll worry about taking your job.
Yes, you'll have the attorney hired by tomorrow. Pam on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. This is Pam.
I know, I just said that.
Okay. A long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thank you.
About quite a few years ago, I was on a bus from Stockton to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I got stuck. There was a fellow behind me and one sitting to the side of me. So from Stockton to San Francisco, I couldn't move. I had 2 fellows trying to pick me up the whole way. The first one that was sitting behind me was trying to pick me up for quite some time, and he was kind of strange. So he was kind of a strange fellow, and started saying all kinds of things. And I thought, well, I'll try and get rid of this fellow for a while. And the person that was sitting next to me, I thought, well, he was a little safer, but neither of them were very good. The fellow that was sitting behind me, he kept bothering me. He was saying things like, oh, is that a real, I had a hair comb in my hair, and he was saying, oh, is that real emeralds? And then he started telling me about being in Vietnam and phantom ghosts running towards him. Like I'd really want to go out with someone who was crazy like that.
Someone with post-traumatic stress disorder, yeah.
So
I got to cross people like that off my list, people with PTSD.
So the fellow that was sitting next to me...
I hate to sound prejudiced, but if you have PTSD, I'm out.
So as soon as we get to San Francisco, the fellow that was sitting next to me says, well, do you know where you're going? And I said, well, I'm going to the airport. And I turn around, and he's walking away with my luggage. And I didn't know where he'd gone. And I guess he was wandering toward the BART, and I was just transferring to another Greyhound, and he's thinking out me to take me somewhere. I don't know what he was doing. He kept trying to say all these things that I should come with him. I don't know. Strange place to be on the Greyhound.
Well, I would say if you're on a Greyhound bus, you're a loser. Bottom line. What are you doing on a Greyhound bus? Tamara on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Tamara.
Hi. I have a great pickup line for you.
What's that?
I live in L.A.,
yeah.
And me and my girlfriend were going into the Malibu's restaurant. I don't even remember the name, but it was like fancy restaurant. It was in the middle of the day. We were having lunch. So we came out of the car, we parked the car, and the 4 guys were coming out, and they were like standing, they didn't know what to ask, and they were like, could you tell me where's the Pacific Ocean? And I was like, oh, whatever. And my girlfriend, she didn't get it. And she was like, excuse me, what did you ask me? And could you tell us where's the Pacific Ocean? And I'm like, yeah, right.
Oh, my. What you do is you go north on PCH, and then you just turn left. From Los Angeles, the Tom Leykis Show. Real fast, Monique. We're talking about the worst place to try to pick somebody up. Hello?
I kid you not, Tom. As I was awakening from an abortion, the orderly, I heard him tell the other person in the room, oh, this one's mine. I kid you not.
Well, he already knows you put out.
What exactly was he going to do with me? On the table, in a hospital gown and a hat.
He was going to show you his speculum.
I suppose so. I couldn't believe it.
I love that story, Monique. Thank you. Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com. Tom@ BlowMeUpTom.com, or check out our new redesigned website. Find out what's coming in the near future just by going to BlowMeUpTom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.